Hello and welcome back to Star Citizen. My name is Evenlease, and today on 10 Minutes More or Less Ship Review, right behind me I have the DRAKE CUTLASS RED, the medical variant of the Cutlass series. Let's go ahead and take a look. Alright, let's go ahead and get started with another review. Today, the DRAKE CUTLASS RED, the medical variant of the Cutlass series. Now, this is a fantastic ship, and this video is pretty much going to be me telling you why this should be a daily for you, if it's not already. Now, you know, that just really depends on what you're doing in the game, and, you know, it could be hit and miss for some people. So, before we get into the price and all the stats on this ship, and what you could do with this ship, I do want to let you know you guys are truly amazing. I mean, you entered into the giveaways I had. I chose 2 winners. So far, so great. But I just love all the comments you guys have left and just getting to know you guys more. This is such a fantastic community. So anytime I get the chance to give back to you guys, I'll make sure to do so. I really appreciate you all. And CIG has even recognized my channel, and they love giving to me to give to you. And I'm here for it all day long. So that's amazing. Now, getting into this ship here, this ship, the Cutlass Red, is $135 typically when it's available on the Pledge Store, or you can buy it in-game for $2,857,680 aUEC. Now, I recommend getting this ship as soon as possible at that in-game price because that seems really low for what it's capable of doing now with the medical changes that it's kind of had to it. We don't know how permanent those changes are, especially with like Death of a Spaceman and anything else that could potentially change the landscape of medical gameplay in this game. But for right now, it's definitely not a bad price for in-game cost. Definitely look into that. Now, this ship has 960 damage per second because it has 4 size 3 CF-337 Panthers on the front. I'm a part of the 50-50 crowd. I could care less if it does or doesn't have guns because that's not really the primary focus when I'm flying this thing. Is to go out looking for trouble. I'm going out to pick up the people that found trouble. Now, it used to have a turret on the top for other variants. Well, it does have a turret on the top for other variants, but on this one, it actually was replaced by a size 4 Nav E7 scanner, which is good for finding, you know, people that are down or ships in distress. Not currently available yet, but it does like extend your scan range. So that's good to know that that is there on the top with the nice little searchlight. And as you can see on some of my, you know, videos that are playing throughout this video, this has all sorts of like police lights on it. Now you can't operate those lights separately. You just have to hit L on your keyboard. It turns on your headlights at the same time, turns on the rest of your emergency lighting. So pretty cool that it has that. I just wish you could separate the two instead of turning on all your lights, like your headlights with your emergency beacons, that you could just turn on one or the other. So maybe down the line. Now, this ship does have 6,000 bubble shield, so not the best amount of shield for a medical style ship. You would think the manufacturer would put, you know, a lot more shielding in here, or, you know, potentially up the amount of armor or health it has. So 6,000 on a bubble shield, you know, bubble shields where wherever you get hit takes from the entirety of the shield. Not so great. Not so great for a medical style ship. And you only have 41,750 HP. Now, that is actually the lowest available amount in any Cutlass variant, with the steel with over 100,000 HP and all the other Cutlass variants at 45,000 plus. This one actually is the lowest available, which again, it's a rescue ship. I'm not sure why that would be the lowest available, and then you only have 6,000 shield. So we need a little bit of a boost there. Now, with that, of course, you could potentially see a decrease in firepower, but I don't know. This thing's already missing all the missiles that other variants have, and it's kind of right where it needs to be when it comes to the damage. Now, it can still carry 12 SCU of cargo right there in the back room there, which we'll get in there here in a second. So it can still carry a little bit of cargo, which is great. So not only are you out there rescuing people, but you're able to do a little bit of cargo, like you can also do deliveries. You can also go to, you know, bunkers with this thing. Right here's your little cargo room that you could fit a small vehicle in, or cargo. And then if you go through this door by pressing the button here on the side, you're going to see 2 medical beds, one on the left, one on the right, and these can heal certain injuries, I think tier 3 currently, and also replenish your water and food, as well as if you click on this screen here, you could go ahead and set your spawn point to either one of these beds. So if you're at a bunker and you fall and you decide to just give up, you'll respawn right on your ship, you know, right by the bunker, which is pretty awesome. This really opens up a lot of gameplay options, especially even if you have just 1 or 2 people with you. You all can set your spawn here and attack a target, leaving your ship just a kilometer away and allowing you pretty much instant access back to whatever battle you're in. It's pretty sweet. Now, you do have 2 doors, 1 on each side. This is like if you're in an emergency situation, you have a tier 1 injury and you need to get to a medical facility as quick as possible. You got them in the bed here. You go up to a docking station, a docking arm, and you attach via this door here. You go ahead and deploy that, open the door, open this door, and then from there you can go ahead and get a docking arm attached and get your emergency patient out as quickly as possible. Now, obviously, we don't have docking arms for these yet, as in nothing will attach to this ship yet, but that is a future gameplay element, and it's going to be pretty sweet. Now, right here, you do have 2 beds for the crew that would be manning these medical stations. So your 2 nurses or a nurse and a doctor, and they would take care of the patients that are currently on board. Now, there's no gold standard or components pass on this ship, so don't expect to see any components or anything available for you to move around. But you do have a lot of the housing locations, so sooner or later we'll see them appear here and there. And then you got the old Drake fashion, wires everywhere, panels missing, all sorts of stuff like that. Even in what you would expect to be somewhat of a cleaner room, it's not that clean. Moving on to the next room, this is where the primary crew sits. Now you have a couple storage lockers on the left. You have a couple weapons lockers, or not lockers, but racks here on the right. And then over here you got a couple beds for the pilot and the co-pilot. And you have a bathroom, which is amazing. What every Cutlass variant needs. I personally think that, like the Cutlass Black, should get rid of the manned turret and make it a co-pilot controlled unmanned turret, and just put this bathroom in the position of that turret access, and there you go. Corrects a lot of problems that Cutlass Black currently has. Otherwise, this interior is pretty good. Still missing a kitchen, unless something plans on popping out of the floor with a nice built-in kitchen on it. You're missing some amenities, so that's too bad, especially since you have a medical crew. I guess you're just going to be storing, some granola bars in here with some, soda or energy drinks, and that's about all you're going to get. But, given the fact that you're supposed to take your patients to a medical facility, you might as well just get your food while you're there. You know how hospital food is, right? Might as well. And then you have more wires thrown about. So watch your step or you'll become your own patient on your ship. And, of course, here is the pilot and the co-pilot seated area. And nothing really too much changed about this at all. So once you're in, you just go ahead and go to your emergency, and there you go. Now, this ship does have VTOL thrusters, just like any Cutlass series, and those VTOL thrusters are pretty cool. And you just press K to open them up or K to close them. And then those engine nacelles, always be wary of those. Those things are pretty terrible. So if your engine nacelle gets taken out in a fight, there's a good chance you won't be able to control your ship, just like any Cutlass ship. They rely on that a lot, especially if you're in atmosphere. If you're in space, it's not nearly as bad, but when you're in atmosphere, it is definitely something to keep an eye out for, because once you lose that engine, it's going to be a pain to control. Now, outside of that, you got no missiles. Your speed of the ship is 215 SCM, which is not bad at all, with a forward boost of 465, a backwards boost of 230, and a quantum fuel tank of 2,500. So, not terrible at all. It can go quite the distance without needing to refuel, which is pretty awesome. And then you got laser repeaters for guns, so you're not going to be missing out on too much rearming unless you change those guns to, ballistic. Honestly, this ship is pretty great. It's a fantastic daily driver since you can do a little bit of cargo. You can carry some smaller vehicles. You have medical beds that can respawn. I mean, why wouldn't you fly this ship? The only reason you're not flying this ship is you solely run cargo, like more than 12 SCU, or you are mining, or you're doing rock runs. so rock mining, or you're doing salvaging. Obviously, those are all different professions, though. With this ship, you know your objective is to go out there and explore bunkers, outposts, all sorts of different things, or potentially, you know, join in on org operations, or just help out other people in the verse with medical operations. It's actually a fantastic ship and a great daily driver. Honestly, looking at this ship, there isn't too much that I could say is terrible about it. It's got an amazing price point right now. You know, it's lacking the turret, which is too bad. You know, it's a medical ship, so either you want more guns or you want less guns, right? But the bubble shield's a little low for me. The health points, that's great. It's in a good spot. It could be more, but honestly, just give this ship another shield generator or two just to boost that bubble shield a bit. And that would be fantastic, since it is a ship meant to go somewhere that potentially has a lot of targets that took down whatever you're going to be rescuing. You know, personally, my opinion, this ship here is an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 because it is quite amazing, and it has really good function with the new medbed thing. But it's kind of like, how long is that going to last, right? That doesn't hurt the score. That is a really big question, though. How long is that medbed change going to last? Your damage per second is under 1,000. You know, it's a medical ship, so that's not really affecting the score either. No missiles. Your turret's gone. What's affecting the score is those engine nacelles, of course. I have a really big bother with these big engines because when you do lose one, it does make it really hard to fly in atmosphere, and a lot of times in space, too. You end up in a death spin, and that's pretty bad. But it's that and the bubble shield for me that put this ship at an 8 out of 10, but I still think it is the best, or one of the best daily runners out there at the current time, just because of that medical bed change that is currently in effect. Let me know what you think of the Cutlass Red down in the comments below. You know, do you have one? Is it your daily? What is your daily? Thank you guys for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.